The episode begins with a romantic and intimate moment of Mshengu and Mamchunu. Mamchunu leaning on Mshengu's arm and talking to each other, and Mamchunu says it's important for a wife to remind her husband why he chose her. And then she says their relationship is not just a certificate of home affairs, it's filled with love, and it's bold. Donga comes to Ndumiso's restaurant and he looks upset. Ndumiso asks him if he was okay and what's going on. Donga shares how Kathazile told him, "Do as you please," while getting intimate and asks Ndumiso, "Am I an animal?" Hearing all this, Ndumiso suggests him, "There's surely something broken in Kathazile and you should fix it." Nkubeko brings his son, Minkobi, to Doreen, and Doreen gets bloomed with joy seeing her grandson. Handing over Minkobi to Doreen, Nkubeko runs away, smilingly. Chidi and Ndumiso are seen in his restaurant, and Ndumiso apologized to Chidi for not telling her about his marriage, and says, yet he's married, but he and his wife doesn't stay together anymore. But Chidi says, it's classic, after some days, you may again get back with her, and she tries to leave, but Ndumiso stops her and tries to fix things and asks for a chance to tell the whole truth and fix everything. Mamchunu comes to meet Kathazile and asks for a couple of minutes to talk to her, and they sit together. Mamchunu apologizes to Kathazile for making her feel alone and reassures her that she's not alone. And whatever decision she makes, Mamchunu has full support on it, and Donga has no right to force her, and promises her she'll always be there for her to protect her. Saying all this, Mamchunu leaves from there. Mshengu and Doreen were playing with their grandson Minkobi, and Nkubeko hears Mshengu's voice, and hears all their talks standing behind a door. His eyes were full of joy and emotions as they were adoring his son. Mshengu asks Doreen why she never got married, and Doreen says she didn't want it to complicate her life, and DGD always wanted to be a good mother who loves her son, and now she's happy to have her son and grandson. Scene shifts to Ndumiso and Chidi. Ndumiso shares Chidi about the hardships of his marriage with Puseletso, and how that relationship mentally damaged him, and then his mom helped him to heal and organized some counsel therapy, and how he never thought he could heal. But after meeting Chidi, HD fell in love again and felt alive too. Hearing all this, Chidi holds his hands and thanked him for telling her all this. Donga comes to meet Mamchunu, and Mamchunu tells him everything what Kathazile told her, and also says that she went to Kathazile and apologized to her, and then she suggests Donga to go to Kathazile and beg her. In this, Doanga tries to refuse, but Mamchunu shouts at him and convinces him to go to his wife and apologize. Nkubeko and Fakazile were watching movie together, but Nkubeko was upset and lost. Then Fakazile asks him if he's alright, and Nkubeko says, "We shouldn't get used to be happy like this, because soon I'll be in jail." And he was more upset because someone was dead, and that was her brother, and somehow he is involved into his death. But Fakazile stops him, saying all this tells him to enjoy the movie and not to think all this. Donga was besitted, upset in his room, and Kathazile comes there. Donga apologized for forcing her to have a baby, and he realizes his mistakes. And then Kathazile also realizes she also had some faults, and she apologizes too, and then Donga promises her that from now on, they are not just husband-wife. They'll be good friends too, just like they were before marriage. Mshengu and Doreen were having dinner together, and Doreen made a dish that Mshengu used to like a lot. Then Doreen thanked Mshengu for telling Nkubeko all the truth. Mshengu says he's happy that their mother and son bond getting better. Then Mshengu says, "It's getting late. I have to go." Doreen holds his hand and says, "I know you still love me, and I still love you too," and says their love was never fade away. It was just people and circumstances that made it look like that. Then she says, "Tell me, your heart doesn't feel the same about us." And